Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back from Leipzig, Germany in the DreamHack Open. We're about ready to finish things up. One match to go to decide who will be our grand finals champion. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise in the crowd. I know we've been here all weekend long. Got a shot of the trophy there too. I'm Axel Toss back here at the analyst desk. Welcome back. One match to go to decide our grand champion, and what a day it's been. I'm joined by Gibbs and Achieves. Whew, I'm still catching my breath a little bit from that last match, but what an incredible weekend of Rocket League with just one match to go. And let's just go ahead and get into the bracket real quick here to catch anyone up on what's going on. I know we might have some people just now tuning in because of timing in the North America region, but here's what has happened so far today. Gale Force, the top seed entering this tournament, a favorite for a lot of people to win the whole thing, knocked out in the first round by guess who? I'm not asking you to guess, that's actually their team name. But guess who was knocked out by PSG? PSG actually fell down 0-2 to Flipside, reverse swept, and made their way all the way to the grand finals. And then the bottom side of the bracket, the North American half, NRG looking super strong, but G2 just does what G2 does.
Yep, G2, they took out Dignitas, who was undefeated coming into day number 3. They took out NRG, who was undefeated coming into day number 3. And guess what? PSG is undefeated. So,
what do we do with our math and stats?
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Throw them out the window.
I guess so.
Numbers, I'm done with numbers.
This is pretty cool, guys. We have top European team, incredibly skilled in PSG, and we have a G2 team that refuses to bow out, refuses to give up. And this is a G2 team as well that they fell down to the lower bracket on day 2. And they were in an elimination match against Secret. And I was watching that back in the player pit, and it was actually really close, but they were able to win there, and then from there just carry on through. G2 just has a knack to win when it absolutely matters.
Yep, and it's crazy. And I said before they were 13-2. They're 13-3. My apologies. In game deciders.
How dare you?
And Rizzo low-key kind of said it during the interview, so he helped me out. Thank you, Rizzo. But that's still a very impressive record. It just shows under pressure and on big stages, G2 knows how to perform.
That's what did Shogun say on Twitter? It's like, they just win when all the money's on the line, man. That's all you need.
There you go.
So, in talking about these two, PSG, G2, we had a chance to talk to Farah and get his insight on how important it is for him to try to be talking a lot and keep things under control.
Yeah.
Is there a go-to player for you guys right now on either of these two teams that you're really looking at? I know JNAPS could be the obvious answer, and that could be your answer, but do you have a go-to player for either team that you guys are really looking out for to make a statement and make a play for their team to push themselves to a championship?
So I think, yeah, it all comes down to momentum, like in a best of 7. Like if you can ride the momentum of one crazy goal, sometimes that's 2 wins or so. And
could be, yeah.
There's 2 players that everyone will call out for this. It would be JNAPS and Bluey.
Yep.
Look, Bluey can do absolutely insane things, and JNAPS, of course, as well. So if you see one of those big goals or a 0-second goal, it could be the difference in a full series of 7 games.
But if you're not going to pick JNAPS or Bluey, your other ones to look out for are going to be Farah for PSG, and then, of course, Rizzo for G2, because he's turned everything on its head. That was a huge 0-second goal in game number 1.
Yep.
And then consistently, all those setups, all those solid defensive back wall clears moving forward. Rizzo's been doing great as well.
And making those plays when they absolutely have to. Another question I have for you guys, as far as PSG and G2 and this stage, this live setting, this context of what's going on, a grand final, $50,000 on the line, and you talk about nerves, you talk about comfortability on the stage. How do you think that comes into play? Especially G2's been there before. They've been in this situation. They've come through that lower bracket. Is that a big factor here? As PSG, some people might say, you know what? Maybe they don't have as much of that live event experience, or maybe they do at this point.
Yeah, PSG, they have won grand finals back in October with Northern Arena.
Yep.
It's a little bit of a smaller venue compared to, say, World Championship or stuff like that. Like Kronovi, obviously, he's won a World Championship. And then E-League, one of the biggest tournaments so far, they go on and win that. So obviously G2, the most recent success, and G2, that roster's been around for so long that they know each other like through and through.
Yeah.
So that's going to help too. But PSG, right now,
Together
we're
a fair
seeing
bit
this
too.
team is maturing time and time again, like in these live events, and they're in another grand final. Last time they lost to Cloud9, but this time they want revenge.
Yeah, so it's the same questions. It's can PSG prove to everyone that they can hold it together at these live events and show up? So here you go, GS2, the veterans of live events comparatively, and PSG is just coming out and saying, hey, let's take it to them.
And one thing that's crazy, we have the fans here There's probably more G2 fans here than PSG.
There might be.
And guys, we're in Germany. We're in Europe. So they're rooting for the North America squad, probably. Yep. We'll see when the fans get a little bit more hype later. But that's big because Europeans are always like, oh, I want the crowd behind us. And there's been a lot of events in North America, and they felt kind of betrayed by that. And now it comes out here. G2's in the final, and they probably have more fans than PSG.
Yeah, well guys, we started this tournament with 26 teams, then we got down to 16 on day 2 and 8 teams in day 3, but now we are down to 2, PSG and G2.
He chooses Farah, goes low, and the shooting accuracy needed to improve from PSG, and by all means, it has.
I don't know, I was pretty calm because I knew we could do it. We were losing 2-0, I was just focused on, keeping the team mindset pretty calm. If we play our game, if we're not getting tilted, if we're not, trying to do too much stuff, we can do pretty well, and that's what we did.
Over the top of one, can he do it again? Right over the top and over the bar, and he's done it!
We're all really happy right now just to get top 4 and make it to day 3 we did yesterday. So any win now is just a bonus for us. The stronger side of our team is our passing and our chemistry with each other, but when just a little bit of that chemistry is off, we can play like a completely different team and just not hit a ball at all.
Winning this DreamHack, I think it will be the sign that we learn from our mistakes and we can get better. Going up in the finals, we need to trust ourselves, be really confident that we can do it, and we will do it.
When our chemistry's on, we are the best team in the world by far. We're pretty hyped to play the finals. I think we're going to take it.
There you have it. Awesome to hear from both teams, and there they are on the main stage getting ready to go. G2, they were there in the last match. PSG certainly watching how that unfolded, waiting for their opportunity to get onto the stage, and here is that team. So talented and so young. Bluey making his way into the pro scene in the biggest way possible, especially in the most previous season of RLCS, just bursting onto the scene in a big way, and his success would not be possible without his teammates.
And this team is so young, and they came out of nowhere for Season 4. Everyone thought, oh, like last-second roster moves, and they made a team, and everyone's thinking, they're probably like a 6th seed or so, not going to make World Championship, but they made a run. They started out 6-0, and they've only gone up from there. This is their 2nd grand final. None of these guys have a title yet, and they want it desperately.
And Farah in that interview was saying we just have to remain confident, and they've been oozing confidence since their first game that we saw on stream between them and Ghost. After they pulled that out in Game 5, they said, we're feeling good, and they've rode that all the way here into the grand final.
And now, of course, on the other side of the stage, the team that is on the verge of one of the most ridiculous runs we've seen in major Rocket League tournament play. It's G2. They've done it before. Everyone just is always surprised, but somehow they find their way back to this place, and a lot of it has to do with this guy, JNaps. Honestly, high consideration for tournament MVP leading up to this point. He's pulled off some phenomenal plays, had goal of the day, day 1, goal of the day, day 2, and some incredible moments there in day 3. But again, just amazing supplemental support from his teammates, Kronovi and Rizzo.
And of course, Season 1 world champion Kronovi, he started it all for Rocket League. He's going for his 3rd title. No Rocket League player has 3 titles. He's trying to do that. And of course, G2 themselves going to be back-to-back champions. Only Cloud9 has done that before. They desperately want it. And Rizzo, he started off so well in that last series. Game 1, the 0-second goal. And Game 2, he made some amazing plays to get G2 that early lead that they held on to eventually in game number 7. And again, we doubt G2. I doubt G2 all the time, but they proved me wrong.
We all doubt G2 all the time.
Twitch chat, you know what to do. Let us know who you think will win. Use the hashtag PSG if you think PSG will take home the title of Grand Champion here at the DreamHack Open in Leipzig, and hashtag G2 if you think they're going to be taking home that trophy. Get your votes in right now in the Twitch chat. Use the hashtag PSG and the hashtag G2, and I'm looking forward to seeing those results. But what a moment this is. Incredible best of 7. It just so happened that we have a European versus North America matchup. This is a classic rivalry that we've seen in Rocket League esports, and it's continuing on, and North America having amazing presence this tournament. So we'll see what happens, but first, Gibbs, I think you have 3 reasons why for us.
It is time for 3 reasons why G2 will beat PSG. I am finally getting on the G2 train. It took me a long time. Sorry, Kronovi.
Do you want to type
I'm
hashtag
finally here.
G2 in the chat here?
It's
No,
too many
go ahead.
keystrokes.
Yeah, sorry, you're
I
right.
have something to do. Anyway, first one. NA is 5-0 versus Europe in grand finals. I don't know why, but whenever North America makes it to the grand finals, they make it count, and I expect them to do it once again here. Number 2, the fans. The fans have come out for G2. They are cheering them on time and time again. You can probably hear them behind me right now. And G2, they feed off these fans and the support that they get. The most popular team by far right now in Rocket League. They feed off it, so keep supporting them. And support PSG as well, of course, because they are some amazing players. But number 3, JNaps. The best player in the world right now, period. There is no one better right now. More than Fairy Peak, yes. Okay. There is no one better right now. JNaps makes incredible play after incredible play, but Kronovi and Rizzo are also playing incredibly around him, and that is why G2 will beat PSG. And those are my 3 reasons why.
Well, there you have it, and that provides us a nice little shortcut to our predictions. Achieves.
I've bought into the hype. I'm on the G2 train. G2.
G2? Okay, I am going G2. I'm not going to betray them here. I'm not going to do that again. G2, it's going to be a very close series. PSG, watch out for Bluey. Bluey is going to be insane this series. He's been insane all week. Watch for the assist. He's been making a lot of assists.
You guys said that NRG would beat G2.
Hey.
That's true.
Hey, man.
I need some explanation.
He's got actual numbers to support it this time.
All right, I guess it's my turn to predict, and a little bit of a flashback to the first match that we saw today. Gale Force was knocked out, and then I put a prediction in for PSG versus Flipside, and I said...
You've been the only one right in the semifinals.
I said that PSG was my favorite to win the tournament before that match. So I got PSG, actually.
All right.
I picked PSG after Gale Force is knocked out, so I got to stick to that prediction. But regardless, I think this is going to be an incredible best of 7. And at this point, I'd like to invite our commentators to the conversation. Gregan and Shogun, how hyped are you for this grand final?
I cannot wait, and I cannot wait to be proven wrong. I've been doubting G2 this whole time. No longer will I doubt them. Rizzo told me to stop it. I can't question it anymore. They keep proving themselves to be the better team.
I wish G2 would stop making it so easy to doubt them. Whenever they are not in these major tournaments,
there we go.
They do just play so terribly, but when you get them on a stage, they are incredible. And I know I said earlier on that Fairy Peak is the best player in the world, but you get anyone to watch JNaps against NRG, their opinion changes. JNaps is the best player in the world.
All right, well, I think without any further ado, it's time to get into the grand final. Only one team can be champion of the DH Open here in Leipzig. It's either going to be PSG or G2. It's time to get this best of 7 underway. Gregan and Shogun, take it away, guys.
It won't be easy.
It really won't.
G2 have got a tough challenge ahead of them. They've had a tough challenge this whole weekend. They've never made it easy for themselves, but in their sense, if they're in that final game, they're more likely to win. They love it. Rizzo said he loves those final games because he's in the team.
Well, the crowd has been said that they are G2 fans. I want to test this before we go live. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want G2 to win, make some noise. And now we need to test the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want PSG to win, make some noise. There's people there. There's definitely people there.
And the main thing we've got to point out here is that this is 7 games potentially to decide who is going to win the first tournament of 2018 and set a precedent for the year. That man there, JNaps, has already shown us what Rocket League might be in the future. Is this where these players are going as we set off?
It's a quote of Fallen Comrade. Get up and get loud. It's game day. PSG versus G2 in the DreamHack Leipzig Open Grand Finals Best of 7. To find out who will be going ahead with the lion's share of the tournament money and the title of major winners. G2 will take the immediate pressure, trying to set up. PSG struggling in the defense to start us off. Demo taking out, but here is JNaps, the aforementioned MVP player on the pitch. Kronovi now. He will then try and find JNaps. Controlling the air is G2 to start us off. We have the challenge, follow-up from Rizzo. On target, there's Farah. Final second save. Now PSG can transition. Chaussette almost there in time. Here's Farah yet again. So good at slowing down the pace and allowing his team to resettle their rotation after sometimes they make mistakes. And now they start to press forward. Now to the side. Farah takes a look. Rizzo will get it past. How well can Rizzo do on offense throughout this game? That'll be a major question. How well can this match, JNaps, do throughout this match? That'll be an even bigger question as PSG continue to try and find some form of long wave offense against G2. They've struggled to do so in the opening 90 seconds of this game.
Throughout this tournament, we have seen the most mature Paris Saint-Germain team we've ever seen in Rocket League. They have just been smart, not trying to be too flashy, and I think that is going to really help them in this game. And now they are up against G2, who have been quite the opposite. They have created highlight goals. JNaps day 1, JNaps day 2, and we have just witnessed some of the saves and goals of the tournament in one series alone. G2 are here to show off and win.
Incredibly even to start us off in the opening 2 minutes of this game. Keeper will be chased down. Chaussette. I think he's getting a bit used to this by now. He's seen multiple players try to take him out. He had to play against Jesse earlier on today. You are going to have to really go searching if you want to demo that man. Now, over to the midfield. Once again, neither team able to break down the other. Bluey, long pass. The Devs did say that he's been doing such a good job of assisting, and that's such a major difference to how we saw him during the RLCS League play, where he was trying to finish off his own taps, now becoming more of a team player, but he can't quite fit his shot throw.
That's part of the maturing, as we were mentioning before. They are working together as a unit, looking for each other, creating opportunities. That is the kind of assist maker that Bluey is, and it's going to result in a goal. Chaussette, the first goal of the final.
There is number one. It's not fast, it's not flashy, but it is crucial. Only 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in game 1. PSG will take the lead. But we have seen just how easily they can give up that lead. Their series against who, especially the first few games, very sloppy at consolidating and capitalizing on their leads. G2 will want to see much of the same here. Off the backboard again was immediately Kronovi. Turned on a dime up on the wall, and there's going to be Chaussette, forcing JNaps to attempt to clear. Going to be a counter-attack. It's going to go in. 1-1.
Kronovi waiting upfield and redirects that towards the net, and I think that was a demo. The final player who was on their way back, not allowed to return, and the scores have been leveled. What a counterplay. 2 touches and in.
PSG's lead lasted less than 30 seconds. Chaussette would love to try and get it back to them as quickly as he possibly can. PSG move themselves into offense. Chaussette tapping straight over. Here comes Farah. Gets it down. Kronovi forced to respect him. Bluey in the background. He's going to take his way out, but he does steal some boost away, making life very difficult for G2. They're going to be stuck back for a little while further as Rizzo uses half of his boost. You can see just how little he wanted to use, because this is the problem. PSG can keep moving forward. And there's another demo. 2 right now during the siege of PSG, but they haven't really caused any major problems for the G2 defense. Finally, JNaps, big challenge from him in the midfield, and G2 escape.
JNaps is seeing that ball so well. Anytime he goes in to challenge that ball, he can block it and so frequently keep that pressure on. But PSG have kept G2 down in their half for so long now. All it's going to take is one mistouch or a quality pass. And G2 will be looking on the back end of a deficit. This could be it. Just shot now. Farah finds the net, point blank range, sends it home.
He's taken 5 so far this game, but none as good as that one. Lovely setup from Bluey. And then the follow-up from Farah. This is exactly what happens when you've had a pressure for as long as PSG have. Just consistent shot after consistent shot. G2 forced to retreat to their own net and eventually just can't get out in time to block Farah. So, 40 seconds now. G2 need to find a goal. They can find it soon. JNaps gets double tap. Didn't quite want to get that. As Farah will use Bluey. Attempt to clear. Farah could go up for the ball, but instead Chaussette will be up there. That was a little bit of a dive from him. Going to leave his team 3v2. He was never even going to be close. The follow-up from JNaps isn't on target. Barely able to make contact. And PSG must now hold on for a few more seconds to take game number 1. Bluey leaves it for Farah, plays it off the wall. The follow-up from Chaussette. It's going to be very difficult to take control of as JNaps takes out some of his frustrations on the PSG player. But this is going to be game 1 to PSG if G2 can't make something of this. It's going to be very difficult to do as well, but the bounce is nice for JNaps. 2 players from PSG committed. They do get the ball to touch the floor. Game 1 to the Europeans.
PSG just kept pressure on for the majority of that game, and it made it very tough for G2 to progress forward. And they're looking very calm. We obviously see their reactions when they get those big wins. No more bigger than this. But at this stage, there's still a long way to go. They're 1 game up in a 7-game potential series. Best of 7. Who's it going to be? G2, are they going to bounce back now? Or are Paris Saint-Germain going to keep that pressure on?
G2 really need to get the ball out of their half. PSG did such a great job of just holding the midfield. There was just so little for G2 to work with. And they ended up paying for it. They only really had 1 good opportunity, apart from JNaps' missed touch towards the end, and that was the one that they scored. The counter-attacking play with Kronovi. PSG controlling pretty much everything, but only get better for G2 as they try to make this more of a midfield game. The type of game that they really thrive in.
Once they take players out the game and open up a bit of space, even for Rizzo and Kronovi, we've seen them creating beautiful touches to open up gaps and string passes together, shoot well together, but it is JNaps who everyone is hoping for to make those highlight plays, because it has just been amazing to watch him DreamHack open all weekend long. But now is the most important time. These two have done so much to get to this stage. The single series will define who will win and who will be the best team to start 2018.
Now on to Champions Field. All Kronovi has to do is look up and he sees his name in lights. Chaussette would have loved to see his name on the screen as Chaussette scored, but he will be deprived of that luxury. Can't get there in time. Shot from Kronovi. He's going to go far. Farah forced to save. JNaps bouncing it off from the corner. No one from G2 around. Good opportunity for them to start this game much better than they've played most of game 1. Where they were stuck in their half for the majority of the time. Need to really respect PSG's ability to transition the ball. However, Kronovi puts it up high, looking for Rizzo. And something we've seen quite often from G2 throughout this tournament, just how often they'll use that first touch to launch up and have another teammate try and follow. Big part of that gameplay style, though, is having enough boost to do it.
Yeah, and one way in which these two teams have saved boosts throughout the tournament is going for the ball but cancelling early. If you know you can't make it, if you know a teammate is going for it, salvage that boost, backflip out of it. Yes, you may have committed a little bit, but it's better than double committing, and that is a huge factor in keeping pressure on, keeping your team in the game.
Bluey up high. No, we can't really do too much there. Now PSG find a way down to the orange side of the field. Big demo. Bluey is now out. Farah will take back as he watches Chaussette rocket the ball down the center. Now G2, wait to see what Bluey does. Puts it towards the front bumper.
That's a
Now
great
JNaps
pass.
can get there, not on target. JNaps had near perfect shooting in the previous game. Can't quite get it to stick so far in the grand finals. Here's Chaussette. Big challenge on Kronovi. Can potentially set up. Farah leaves it. Bluey missed it. Now needs to get back. He's 2v1. JNaps looks to take control. Everyone from PSG finally able to rotate back. Now Bluey goes low. Very well played. Farah. He's going to be against JNaps. Tried to fake him out, but JNaps incredibly good pathing. Moving towards the ball. Doesn't offer the fake to be an option.
Aware of the option means he covers the option and at any moment can switch to the other. If the guy touches it, he can turn in at the last moment using that drift function. Allows him to get quick, sharp movement.
Halfway now played. This is roughly the time that PSG scored their first goal in the previous game. unable to break each other down this time around. Chaussette off the backboard. Rizzo can get there. He's got JNaps who might try and get it over to Kronovi. Might just tap straight down. JNaps does it by himself. Pans the ball into the net.
JNaps being threatening that whole time, going up underneath that ball, getting the perfect touch he can follow. And Ferrer,
he could have done better.
He could have done better. He went very high there, and JNaps getting the under dunk as it goes into the net. And now that puts G2 in the lead.
Upset. The rest of PSG needs to find a way back. 2 minutes to do it. They've got plenty of time to really set up their chances. As Chaussette gets over to Ferrer. Leaves himself as an option to take away if he does know it's G2 in a much better position. Now Bluey goes solo. We already know how damaging Bluey can be when he has enough boost and has control of the ball. Ferrer launches long. Game winner from the previous match. Rizzo trying to set up, but it's just a little bit too loose, and Kronovi will be forced to rotate. Ferrer, nice block. Forcing G2 into their own half, but needs to consolidate now. JNaps, just incredible boost control and ball control. Takes out at least 2. Now G2 is in a great position, but PSG finally rotating. Rizzo wants to try and set up. JNaps is still in position to set himself up. You keep going. He might go the entire way, but Ferrer is there just in time. Removes Kronovi just for good measure.
Coming up to that final minute, and in a similar storyline to the first game, the team that is behind us haven't had many opportunities to score.
That's an opportunity. Could have been played much better. Now Ferrer, yet another shot. It's slowly but surely getting closer to G2's net.
And if you can take away any of your opposition's chances, and that is a tough thing to do at this level because the pace of the game, there's so many opportunities, and it's starting to flood for PSG. Chaussette levels the game.
It just felt like if PSG could hit a shot on target, they would level the game. Finally able to set themselves up, and Chaussette puts this to a tied game, 42 seconds remaining.
At the moment, defense is winning games in Rocket League. It doesn't matter how flashy you are. If you can stop the majority of chances, stop people early before they even get in those shooting positions, then it really narrows their chances to win.
Kronovi versus Bluey back. Kronovi, he was incredibly brave, decides to play against the mind games of Bluey by ramming his face straight into the ball. Well, if it works, I guess. Now Bluey, gonna try and go far side. No one waiting for him except for JNaps. Will happily take his time. Really will take his time. Looks like we might be going to overtime unless someone can pull off an incredible play bouncing off the backboard. Very risky there from G2. Bluey seems to be wanting to keep it up. I don't know if I agree with that. And you can see exactly why. That was dangerous.
We're now in overtime. And as we've said before, overtimes tend to be where people back off. They don't want to make those mistakes, especially in pressure situations like the final. They don't want to overcommit. They don't want to leave themselves empty at the back. So we'll see now who can create a goal. That's going to be a great chance. JNaps.
Wow. What a setup. And that will put us 1 game apiece. Effectively a best of 5 now, Gregan. Very well played, though, from both these teams in games 1 and 2. These matches are going to be decided by single pieces of individual excellence.
If you want single pieces of individual excellence, Rizzo has created so many of those for JNaps. His passes are just so delicate. He gets there a moment before his opposition, touches them off the back wall, touches them off the side walls, drops them down in the middle, always unexpected angles, and opens up that space for JNaps. And if you notice there with his shot, he could have very easily hit it straight ahead, but JNaps at the last moment always tends to aerial to change the angle of his shot and put it into the gaps.
That's actually been a bit of a habit that we've seen from multiple players this weekend, trying to shoot towards the direction that the defender came from. So if the defender's coming from the left, shoot towards the left, because you know that if you can time it right or even delay your shot very slightly, they're already been and gone.
Yeah, and that's just due to how quick people are shooting now. Pre-jumps are becoming more and more common. And so therefore, when those defenders are jumping through, hit it behind them and their momentum will take them past.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the venue, the lights on the roof are about to turn on. Don't be too worried about that, however. It's just because we are starting to slowly close up shop here in DreamHack. However, we're nowhere near closing up shop on this stream. Still plenty of Rocket League left to play. That was almost an incredible start for PSG. As they move forward, wanting to bounce back from their loss in Game 2. Well set, trying to set up. It's actually becoming very difficult, especially when Rizzo's being hunted. The follow-up shot comes through. Chaussette has just done so much damage.
Chaussette cleanly struck that to the backboard, made it awkward for Kronovi, who made it even further more awkward for Rizzo. And again, Farah shooting behind the incoming defending Kronovi. Those pre-jumps, the way to beat them, hit it behind them or hit it under them.
Rizzo wanted to set himself up, couldn't quite get there in time before Farah took him out from the play. Genap's trying to find Kronovi. Might be able to find him actually as Farah gets in front. Waiting just for the time being. PSG still sitting on their 1-goal lead as we head into 4 minutes remaining. Kronovi.
So
It's gonna be
smart.
so difficult.
Close.
Where do you even aim for if you're Kronovi? A team finds out that you just aim exactly where he did because he almost got the entire way, but PSG always leaving someone on the wall just in case they can get to it even quicker whilst using even less boost.
It's very underrated what Chaussette tried doing. Just people clear so close to the ceiling now that if you're waiting on that wall and you see them coming underneath the ball, you can jump off that ceiling because at the final moment you can make so many micro adjustments to allow you to cleanly intercept the ball.
Big clear from Jnaps. It's actually Kronovi to aim for. Crow can do something. Just needed more power and a little more direction, basically to be a better shot in general. And G2 would have tied this up. That is much better. The second time of asking, Kronovi delivers.
Rizzo to Kronovi. Well, Kronovi to Rizzo, back to Kronovi. Just a nice little 1-2 play. And again, shooting behind the pre-jumping player. That has been the majority of these goals, and it's just due to the way they've adapted throughout DreamHack. Pre-jumps are the flavor of this month.
And they are finally being countered. Gibbs was right though. Rizzo just needed to start moving up that little bit more, become a link-up man at the very least. I think that just suits his playstyle so well. A great player for the setup, very delicate in the way he goes forward. But not only that, he was very strong for the whole of Season 4 at demos. And if you allow him that time and space to just offload the ball and then go out hunting, then he's going to do a lot of damage.
And part of the reason why Rizzo is a great assister is he's very aware of everyone on his team and where they are on the pitch. Very rarely do you see Rizzo's pass causing a teammate to slow down. They're always just in their normal driving path and they continue onto that ball and are able to shoot. This is a chance, Rizzo!
Oh, almost able to turn in, just required a little bit more boost so he could recorrect himself. Now Farah up against Kronovi. Kronovi does win. Now Bluey punts the ball long. G2 doing a very good job taking the ball down under their control. Almost a great setup, Chaussette. He would have needed a lot of foresight to be able to read that play, but still almost able to make it stick. PSG going for the team plays that they've been working on throughout the offseason and have utilized so well throughout this entire tournament. Continued now, G2 on the offense. Jnaps taps it up. I think he want to make it a little bit more heavy, but it's going to be followed up by Rizzo. Kronovi will find himself the final one back with Chaussette and Farah trying to play over the top of him. Bluey now available. Gets himself up high. Very difficult angle though. Now Kronovi just downfield very often. He'll try and tap away, but no one from PSG is really committed, so really done too much except to give G2 a little bit more space to work with. Bluey leaves. Farah calls him off quite clearly there. I've never seen someone just go, okay, it's all yours. Now off the backboard, PSG might be able to capitalize on their phenomenal communication and be rewarded with a goal. G2 stuck right now, and this is exactly how they conceded in Game 1 to end up losing. They have to get rid of this ball, and they have to get rid of it very quickly because PSG has set up the siege.
They're just pushing the ball over and over again towards the G2 backboard. They need a clear to get past this zonal blocking at the midfield. Every time the touch comes out, there is someone on blue team blocking it and sending it straight back. Ooh, Chaussette!
It just seems like it's coming whenever PSG can set themselves up for a long siege. JNabs, I watched him, he had 100 boosts. He tried once, he got blocked. He then aerialed, he got blocked again. That is what happens when you are under siege. You get limited opportunities to clear, and if you can't make them happen, you are done.
So smart by Chazette. They're low on boost. So what do? You send it up as high as possible and hover with that ball. They cannot read it. They cannot compete with it. And he sets up his teammate in the middle. So PSG in these final moments with the lead. Can they hold it? 30 seconds to go.
Yep, can't quite get there. 30 seconds remaining. G2 trying to find a way to break down PSG's armor. That could be an opportunity if Rizzo can take the ball away from Bluey. He played the ball so well. There is the third goal. There is the insurance.
Chazette secures the game, and that pass from Bluey, the assist man for PSG. This DreamHack has done it again, and Chazette did have a little bit of work to do. He had to get above that ball. But in terms of this level of Rocket League, that is a simple goal, and that is going to put them into 2-1 series score.
Just another swarming performance from PSG. I mentioned it earlier on in the tournament, but back in Season 4 just seems so wild with the way that they were trying to set up their plays. We just didn't quite know what to expect from them ever. But now we take a look at them, and 2018 PSG is just so much more mature. It seems like they've aged by 2 years in the space of 2 months.
And it's that off-season. A lot of the teams have taken a bit of a break, especially over the Christmas period. It's very easy just to spend time with family and not grind on that Rocket League. But these three have gained that passion with all those big tournaments in the final parts of the year, and they have really shown it here at the event. They have looked strong, they've looked mature, and they've looked like they're very tough to beat.
So I want G2 to change one major thing right now, and that is Kronovi's positioning. He's often been in the midfield, but he's not really much of an option for them. PSG, they've got players awaiting in that midfield. I want him to try and get himself up on the wall instead and be an option over there, because if they try and play it through the middle, they are going to just get trapped once again.
It's not only that, but when he is going up in the midfield, he's hesitant to really challenge. And a lot of those times he's got teammates coming in behind him, but because he pulls out, they then pile up, and we did notice PSG a few times now have piled up in their own half. And you never want to be in a similar position to a teammate, because you end up doing similar things and wasting the same amount of resources. And that is how PSG managed to choke G2 into their own goal area. Now we see PSG 2 games away from being your DreamHack champion. Still a long way to go.
Absolutely, it's not over until you've got those 4 wins. JNabs immediately putting the ball up high. Rizzo went out to try and bump a player. That almost set it up for JNabs to follow his own touch. Now Kronovi comes in. Shot not quite powerful enough to really bait out Farah too much. Looking to make a mistake. Here comes Rizzo. Double save. Now Kronovi wants to find JNabs. Much better start from G2. But now that they've had the ball pushed back into their own side in a double commit, that was the worst possible way they could have reacted to that situation.
No boost, Bluey gets the goal. That touch, he had no boost. He picked up 1 pad. That's all he needed to get towards that ball and slide it home before Kronovi got there. That is control if I've ever seen it. Bluey running on empty, still able to score.
PSG up yet again, very early in this match as well. Bluey, he's got boost this time around. He tries to make use of it, but Rizzo clatters into him and does not allow the young magician to create too much havoc. Try and get yet another block. He's taken it past 2 so far. Kronovi's going to rotate back as JNabs moves himself in off the ceiling. Can go for the shot. The ideas are correct right now, but it's going to take incredible execution to defeat a 3-man defense, especially when PSG are reacting to those ceiling shots well and going up to challenge rather than just allowing them to happen.
Can we just appreciate Chazette's defense?
Oh,
Whenever
by
he's
all
alone,
means, appreciate Chazette's defense.
when he's alone, just never feel like a team has an advantage. So often we see 2, 3 players against 1 defender, and you just assume it's going to be a goal, but never do I assume that with Chazette. He's always dissolving pressure so well. takes players out of the game and sends the ball back upfield just like that. He is grinding the team down, setting his teammates up. Not quite a goal there, but still, just appreciate it.
It almost seemed a disservice to Chaussette for that ball not to go in. A crime against Rocket League. As the ball now moves in, the counter-attack from G2 sticks. And that miss now becomes even more important as G2 tie it up.
Just as I spoke about Chaussette on his own at the back, I cursed him, but it got to be down to a great bit of mechanics from Kronovi. Booming that ball top left corner, again, behind the pre-jumping player.
We're very good at noticing this, Greg.
We're going to be saying this all game long, it feels like, because it's just happening so frequently.
Kronovi looking for Rizzo. He actually ended up missing. Now JNAPS can get up. His teammates are coming back, but they're not even going to be needed. JNAPS is starting to feel it.
How did he get above that ball and send it down? Just look as he twists in the air. The final moment sends it behind the defenders. They cannot get that away. You just do not expect the shot to go there.
How does he flip his car that quickly? It's
Just
absolutely ludicrous. G2 bouncing back from their 1-goal deficit. Now 2-1 up. More than half the game left to play. Farah, he's got options midfield. Goes for the passing play off the backboard. PSG very unorthodox with how they play the ball when it's in the corner. Farah, Chaussette. Don't really expect Chaussette to really commit to this. Now he will. As they try and just pressure G2, maybe steal some boost away.
Oh, clever there by Bluey. Just see, they're expecting him to shoot. But as we said, Bluey is getting more and more selfless as he is growing with this team. Leaving that ball, being very aware of where his teammates are, and that is a sign of a team that is getting used to each other, and that's what we wanted to see from them.
Rizzo, you're not going to be able to sit around for too long, my friend, as he was bumped, but he has got away. Now G2 on the offensive of their own. Seems like this has been a very PSG-heavy offensive game, but we've seen how well G2 can do with merely one shot. Bluey taking his time. Oh, Chaussette getting a crucial block, and now Bluey tries to pinch. This is going to be incredibly dangerous as G2 set it up. Bounces off the post, and PSG, I would say, have cleared, but it's not quite as sure just yet. JNAPS finds Rizzo up in the air, going to try and tap him straight down. Almost with the setup. Kronovi tries to come in, and now JNAPS has to rotate. He's going to be facing his own net. He is now actually managed to get rid of Farah. Saw the explosion. I didn't know which one had been taken out, but it was JNAPS that did take out the PSG target man. 1 minute remaining. 1 goal separates. Will it be 2? Not quite, as it bounces off the post. He will take his time. Kronovi forced to use an awful lot of boost, but he has managed to keep the ball away from his net. That is the most important thing on G2's radar right now. Louis taps up, realizing he hasn't got anyone to go for. He can get a hold of this, just can't stay with the ball. It's hard to get the flip reset. It's even harder to stay with it afterwards. We saw a pinch attempt against the floor, bringing out the top tier mechanics in this game. And tell you what, that's exactly what's going to be required if you want to be the DreamHack Open champion. 20 seconds remains. G2 must hold on to their lead, but with offense like that, they might never have to worry about defense. PSG would like to argue otherwise, but they've left no one in defense. And G2 will take game 4.
JNAPS got up so quick into that touch from Bluey. And understandably, PSG were all pushing forward. They wanted to try and make a play in those final moments. There is no difference now between 3-1 and 2-1. They still lose the game. But that is just what you've got to be scared of when you're up against G2. They are quick up to that ball in the midfield and take away your opportunities.
Kronovi does win the challenge, and that will spend the end of this match. We wanted an incredible grand final, and Gregan, we are getting an incredible grand final.
I hope everyone watching at home and everyone in the crowd is enjoying this level of Rocket League, because as we mentioned earlier on, we are seeing new levels being reached. Both PSG, their team synergy is one of the best I think I've ever seen in a LAN environment. And JNaps, as an individual, is setting a new standard for Rocket League mechanics as he shoots unbelievable angles.
Me and you were actually speaking about this before the game even started.
Oh, yes.
Is JNaps just special in every way, or is this going to be the standard in 3 years' time?
We mentioned players like Cooksir and Devo. In the past, we thought no one was ever going to be able to get to that level. In fact, Kronovi was one of the first players that we thought was unbelievable and would never be reached. And now we're seeing those plays all the time. The backboard touch that Devo was famous for in Season 2, that is a norm. The touches that Cooksir gets, they're now the norm. Is what JNaps doing here, is that what we're all going to be doing in the future?
You can only just sit here and hope. And when we say we, I mean, I know you're good, Greg, but I don't think even we can reach that level ever.
The dream is still alive.
So is it for both of these teams to take the tournament. 2 wins either way is what it will take. $23,000 on the line for first place. Farah trying to set up off the backboard, does get it all the way out. No one there to turn the ball in, but another very good start for PSG. It's very interesting to see how they do immediately from the kickoff now that they're not up against guess who.
Yeah, the kickoff has been a vital part of this DreamHack. Most teams have been able to keep it fairly neutral, but there has been a few names, guess who being one of them, that were doing very well on kickoffs. But I think this game, from what we've seen so far, both teams are pretty in control, pretty safe. Oh, that's a strong touch.
He's done this in E-League. He almost does it again. JNaps, he pulls out the rifle, he shoots, and he almost snipes a goal. Now going to take the ball by himself. Couldn't quite get the tornado flick. Feels weird saying tornado flick in a game of freeze for so much money, but that's just something that JNaps chooses to do in his spare time. Bluey now taking the ball. It will be able to shot set back over to Bluey. Lovely team play from PSG. Farah pulled into the line of duty. Not able to find Bluey, but PSG have early control. Apart from JNaps' long shot, haven't really given up much space. She needs to go up high. JNaps can't make contact. Neither does Rizzo. Kronovi has to be very decisive moving forward for the block. Now Farah will take it himself.
That's
good
on
block.
net.
That's on target.
Oh, Shazam.
Shazam will be happy that it was merely a touch and not a pinch before the demo. Otherwise, that would have been much more difficult to get a hold of. Kronovi just beat by Farah. Now Rizzo also beat. Opportunity though, G2 to rotate back is taken. Still 0-0, 2 minutes played, 3 left to go. Farah trying to bounce it off the backboard. G2 resisting the urge to double commit. You saw 2 of them up there, but that communication that comes through playing with each other for so long paying off. Bluey passes infield. JNaps can't actually get the block as they played it really far to the right, and now the follow-up from Farah. The long haul has been played for PSG. Incredibly patient to just go through that many steps to set themselves up.
Yeah, and they're waiting to see whether they can get up to that ball for free, and Farah had space, so he felt comfortable shooting. Oh, that's a dangerous pass. That's allowing the counterplay here potentially for G2.
Oh, they've chosen to not go for it. Novi will put on some pressure. Shosset will be taking on Rizzo in the air, and now Rizzo is actually on the floor. It was JNaps up in the air, bounced off the backboard. Kronovi can get there in time. It's on target. G2, once again, as it has been in every single game so far, just need one chance.
For all you critics out there who are saying JNaps is the reason they're winning, there are 3 players representing G2 here, and in that situation we see Rizzo and Kronovi taking the lead for their team. They have played phenomenally in this tournament, phenomenally.
You know what, I'm not one that should really be allowed to judge your English, my friend, but we are judges of Rocket League, and I judge this a perfect 10 so far. As PSG find themselves trailing in a crucial match, the winner of this will not just be on match point, they will be on championship point. As Bluey forced to rotate back, Shosset clears long. 1 minute and 30 now, time ticking away very quickly. It's a Very awkward bounce. Bluey choosing not to go. Kronovi misses the ball, but this is still more time wasted. Even if G2 make a mistake, it's more time gone. It's so good for them.
It's a great save by Chazette, but not a good touch from Bluey.
Oh, PSG are just struggling so much, and that will be the result. Goal 2, 70 seconds remain, and G2 showing off that veteran experience.
Chazette doing that wonderful save beforehand, but he was left alone, and he had Rizzo clamping him down on the wall, stopping him from jumping off to make the further save, leaving it open for JNaps and putting them in a strong position. Game 5, 2 goals up and a minute left to play.
Cleared long by Bluey. Rizzo has been forced to watch as JNaps clears to the corner. PSG want a mountain comeback. They need a goal and they need it soon. G2 a very good team when they have the lead. Bluey unable to really cause much damage. That touch has to be much higher. As the ball looks straight back into the blue end. 36 seconds remaining. G2 doing an incredible job controlling the pace across the field. They've really slowed this one down with 0 boost on Chaussette. It's going to be very hard for him to do anything. We actually saw Bluey just diving, and I hope that's not a sign of things to come, because that was an incredibly, not very smart play to go for. Even if Chaussette's low, set yourself up for the next move.
The double commit there, that's going to be it now as the final 10 seconds will be spent mostly in the PSG half. G2 put themselves 1 game away from winning DreamHack Open, and this is huge for G2.
You hear the crowd right there, at least I hope you do. Quick roar from them as G2 put themselves up. Now, it is just 1 game away from them. They still fight for the trophy, and they're looking calm. They are just conversing. This is normal to them now.
They have been quite calm at this event in the past. We've seen them be a little bit show-offy when they walk on the stage, but they've just been sitting there focused, smiling, enjoying themselves. And they have got the crowd behind them. We thought that was going to be the case coming over to Europe, that the North Americans weren't going to get the same level of support. But there's huge support in this crowd. And that could just be from their North American teams that are competing. We had 8 here.
Absolutely. Well, when we look at G2, they have got the most popular players in Rocket League on their team, and plus the org itself is European, so the fact that they are getting so much support over here is not surprising at all. However, their run throughout this tournament has been very surprising indeed, and now there's just one more part of the puzzle to complete from them. One more game, and they get to claim that trophy.
They converted both of us. We're now G2 backers because we have been doubting them all this time. But it is PSG looking to try and prove us wrong as Bluey starts off first 5 seconds. We do not have a 1 fight.
Bluey, this is so crucial for him to be the one to get the goal as well, especially after a pass from Chaussette. I was worried towards the end of the last game that he might start going rogue and try and play by himself. Instead, they get him settled down early with a goal of his own. Rizzo would like to tie it back up nice and quick as Bluey flicks it straight over to Farah. Now Chaussette wants to play solo. He did so well with this earlier, not quite able to get the same results this time around. To be completely honest, mate, I just want Game 7. That's what I want.
Don't we all?
Give it to me.
So many into today's tournament. We had 3 of the quarterfinals go to Game 5. 1 of the semi-finals go to Game 7. We only lost 1 game in the semi-finals, and now we're here in the final. Potentially 2 more to play, as PSG are looking to keep themselves in the tournament.
Bluey will follow up, tries to set himself up. There is going to be the follow-up though from Farah, puts it low, and in the corner, PSG with their perfect start to Game 6.
Bluey fires a question towards Kronovi. He says, am I going to hit it? And the answer is no, as it leaves it in the middle for Farah. Kronovi already jumping, thinking the shot's going from Bluey. And that allows PSG to get another goal. They're 2 goals up. There is still a lot of time left.
Now being hounded by Chaussette. Bluey now a 100 boost warrior, and he's doing incredibly well with it. But he might have actually just caused more damage than good there. G2 able to transition after both of Bluey's teammates on their way back. Set wants to get up high. Farah is behind him. Just able to shadow, but he will not be needed at all. Shosette plays the ball straight out. Interesting now that PSG have such a lead, and they have it so early, is that they often spend most of these games. Oh, wow. JNAPS can get himself down. Can't quite turn it in. The follow-up from Rizzo is going to be up high off the crossbar. Kronovi can take another shot of his own. It has to go in eventually, but it will not. Back to the middle. Rizzo gets the ball up high. G2 still haven't quite given up as JNAPS fakes out the challenge. Will finally be cleared away from PSG. The point I was trying to make originally, Gregan. Oh wow, yet again, G2 are not giving us a chance to breathe, not giving PSG a chance to breathe. You know, I'm just going to give up my point entirely. It's not as important as what we are seeing on screen right now.
Bluey with the pre-jump saves, keeping himself low enough though still, so there's not a gap below him. Cancelling that jump with a dodge to save the ball. And that is just the level these guys have to play. They have to predict the future. They cannot get away with reactively playing at what the opposition are doing because it's just too fast.
Oh, speaking of too fast, Josette able to squeeze it in just before G2 could put up a defender. That is a 3-goal lead, still more than half this game to play. And if you want to have an example of just how well PSG can dissect their opponents, I'm sure Pashi is watching right now, and he'll be happy to tell you that Game 7 between them and guess who was utterly brutal. That could be 4. That is 4.
Josette,
and the prophecy's coming true.
He is just going crazy now. He's watching every touch, getting there first, reading it, and sending it towards the goal efficiently. This is why we love Josette. He has got such a good read of the game.
Interesting now to think of the mindset from G2. They can't actually afford to turn off this game and say that it might indeed be over. They have to keep playing the entire time because they can't give PSG that much momentum. It's such a crucial game!
You are crazy!
3 goals for 4, the best of the bunch! PSG
Look at that.
are so good right now. 5 goals to 0, and it could easily be 10.
We just saw Josette's hat-trick happen in less than a minute, and to get that goal as the one that makes it, you have got to be kidding me, Josette.
It's really weird being at Game 6 with so much on the line, 2 minutes remaining, and I feel like the game is over. The shot comes through, G2 really playing for momentum heading into Game 7 because this has been a demolition job from PSG. Nothing beyond a complete collapse would make any difference. Kronovi wants to try and force some pressure. Trying to play the ball over to the side. JNAPS taps the ball down, can't quite get there. It's Farah moving forward. Multiple long balls launched from G2, just no one really around who can capitalize. Finally getting something, but another loose one. Bluey is gonna go manhunting, can't quite find JNAPS. But the creativity that we are seeing from PSG, the way they are approaching offense, so dangerous. Rizzo looks for JNAPS, still no contact made. G2 struggling to put anything together.
Said JNAPS was maybe setting the future potential of Rocket League, and I think Josette has been watching because he has matched that this game. Yes, it may have been a one-game burst. Doesn't matter at this stage, that one goal, that's going to give him some confidence. But just appreciate how incredible that man has been this game. But what a pass, Rizzo.
Hey, by the way, he went shot the same side as the defender.
Oh, behind the pre-jumping?
Yeah.
Pre-jumping save?
Yeah.
That's new.
I'm shocked we haven't seen it before, to be honest. We start to head into the final 50 seconds of this game. G2 have at least managed to stave off the bleeding, catch some momentum of their own with that single goal. A little more than a consolation, especially when Josette picks up number 4. Gregan, feel free to just gush over Josette.
I mean, I haven't said it yet in the tournament, but I want to bring out a cool little fact about Josette. He is a French player. His name is French for sock. And I couldn't think of a more delicate word than sock to describe such an explosive player like this man has been in this game.
Well, if you want a less delicate term for sock, Chaussette has certainly been socking G2 throughout this entire match.
Please don't shoot. Never again.
Gotta get some puns out, lighten the mood very slightly because we are moments away from a massive match as Farah continues to put up massive scores for PSG.
I'm sure chat is going crazy right now because we have seen the greatest difference in score today. That's obviously the only reason. 7 goals to 1. And
Number 2 for that was, also PSG against guess who in Game 7.
Indeed. We have seen some bigger scorelines in the early stages of the tournament, but that to be done to send you into Game 7 of the final of a tournament is an obliteration. There's going to have to be a big change in mindset from G2, and we know they love those clutch moments, so I'm sure we'll be seeing.
Absolutely, PSG, they are proud of that performance, and why shouldn't they be? Phenomenal, and making it look easy as they head into Game 7. However, Gregan, we've casted a lot of these style of matches, and whenever we see a blowout, usually the next match, especially if it's a grand final, is very different indeed. It's very easy to do it once you've had a very good start. Much harder to do it when you realize that you are that close to a tournament win.
And you're never going to get a performance that dominating ever again.
Not at this level.
Not at this level. That was incredible. And I almost wonder how much of that was the early lead from PSG, sending it to, what, 3-1, 4-1?
I would say the first 3 goals were competitive. And I would say the next 4 was just everyone sort of relaxing a little bit, PSG and G2 included.
Yeah, they knew there was no coming back from that, but they know they have one more chance. That is Game 7 of the DreamHack Open Final. And we will be crowning the first major winner of 2018. Will it be PSG or G2? Crowd, I want to hear, who are you calling for? Who is going to win?
We are about to find out. Game 7, PSG, G2 on Utopia Coliseum. Let's get to it. Chaussette will start the game. Why not? Off the ceiling, into the net, not quite. As Rizzo would be forced to clear up the mess. Off the backboard yet again, Bluey takes out the player. Chaussette will run forward, but he's going to have the ball taken over him by Rizzo, who can go the entire length of the pitch if he wants to. But Chaussette pretty much plays a game of tag right there, chases him down the entire length and shuts down the play. Now in the corner, Rizzo, lovely flick on. Go over to Kronovi, shot on target, almost turned in. And Chaussette gets there in time, finds Farah. Played away. Much better, though, from G2. They know what's on the line, and they know how to play when the pressure is on. Remember, they are the elite champions. PSG still yet to win a major tournament in the short time they've been together as a team. Looking to try and make this their first. That's a great opportunity, but Kronovi shuts the door. Every single time there's a save, I can almost hear the crowd just whistling in applause of what G2 managed to do by keeping the ball out of their net. JNaps pretty weak towards Chaussette. Bluey wants to follow up, but he's got no boost for it. Now Farah on target, another save from JNaps. This is incredibly close for G2, but it's also starting to look very similar to Game 1. PSG controlling the length of the field. Now that brings up its own inherent issues for PSG, where they now need to take a look towards the midfield because G2 are lightning quick on their counters.
PSG have fired a few shots at net and none of them have looked threatening just because G2 are so calm in defense. Every touch has been put exactly where they want it, but still, PSG have had all the control this game despite not getting rewarded for it.
Gonna go up, Kronovi tries to take over, but it's now gonna be in Farah's hands as Bluey tries to come down, can't quite get there.
All G2 are back at the moment. PSG, if they get a few touches that draw those players out, they might be able to find a goal. That could be it. There's a touch. Bluey, shot. That's going to dissolve the pressure as Rizzo did get a demo. Now it's G2's turn.
Chaussette, good interception, reads the play very well. Half the game remaining. That first goal has just become uber significant. Bluey plays the ball down. Farah wants to get there in time. Tries to set up. Chaussette all the way back. Playing defense. Doesn't want to commit to a triple attack. And now Rizzo moving forward. He's been kept very quiet in this game so far. Launches long and forced to now play his way back. Farah off the backboard. Chaussette thinking better. Now will take the ball for his own. Kronovi up high. Now JNAPS trying to force some questions out. Bluey's actually misplayed and he'll be thanking Farah later on. The ball is played towards him. Maybe some nerves for the youngster as he now moves forward. I think Bluey needs to be kept in motion throughout the entirety of this game, just so he doesn't get a chance to even think about the situation. Kronovi underneath, JNAPS wants to go over the top. It's now going to be him versus Chaussette. Can go the entire way, but he's just not got the pace available. Chaussette can come for a challenge. Kronovi taps it straight down. Bluey wants to move forward, almost turned in. JNAPS unable to turn around in time and get the shot, but now G2 looking promising. Tapped down. Rizzo launches a shot. G2 more happy to spend 3 players on a play than PSG is thus far. All the way over to Rizzo. He will be challenged by Farah off the backboard. This is where PSG has scored previously. The follow is not there. Bluey doesn't have the boost, but it is still dangerous. G2 needs to play away. Farah in the corner. And JNAPS slows the pace down significantly, but PSG will not want to move. G2 not giving them an option, however. Big clear from Rizzo, and G2 can breathe. 40 seconds remaining. That goal could be JNAPS! Who else?
JNAPS, the man who has been playing out of his mind, is the man that puts G2 1 goal up. Bluey matrixes the ball as JNAPS sends it home. This is incredible. Vital goal. 37 seconds left. PSG need to level it.
They've got the same amount of goals as they had this last game. This time around, however, they don't have to worry about this 7 from PSG. PSG have 0 right now. They need to pick up 1. 20 seconds remaining. Otherwise, G2 will win back-to-back major tournaments in a row. Chaussette with the set. Bluey with the tap down. It's in! And he has made up for his previous mistake.
Bluey sending that one in just below the crossbar. Chaussette with the assist of the tournament. Puts that one high, and Bluey is given a gift. 12 seconds left. Are we going to overtime?
It just seemed like it was all over after G2 got the goal. Now PSG from the kickoff looking strong. Farah tries to play down. He's got Bluey on the counter. Chaussette will want to play, but instead it's now going to be Bluey. Tap down. Almost the best goal to finish off the best series. Now JNAPS off the backboard. It just has to hit the floor, and we will head to overtime, but that bounce is incredibly awkward. G2 might still have a shot at this. Gregan, championship on the line. 1-1. Overtime.
3 days of Rocket League comes down to this. 1 goal will decide who wins DreamHack Open. And it cannot be any better. These 2 teams so evenly matched in every facet of the game.
JNAPS up high. He's going to force 2 players to commit. Farah gets a strong enough bit of contact. Wants to play it by himself the entire length of the pitch. JNAPS now has the ball on the wall. He's going to go searching for a player, but Bluey has avoided him. He's currently on 0 boost himself. Picks up 12, but it's not quite enough. And now G2 has an incredible opportunity to finish this off. Block from Bluey. The 0 boost warrior sets it up. Follow up. It's Bluey's to win. And it's going to be Farah to turn it all down. The celebrations are on your screen. Congratulations to PSG.
Europe continue to have won every single home field LAN. And what a competition has been. G2, incredible competitors. Every single one of them has stepped up once again and proven to us that they are a top level team.
PSG finally do it. They've been at the top tier of Rocket League esports for so long, lacking that big result to really cement them, but they've just come forward this weekend as a brand new look team, and they will be crowned your DreamHack Open champions.
have fought so many times in so many tournaments. It feels like they've made so many finals, so many ridiculous runs, epic plays. Bluey, Farah, Shawset, your tournament champions for the DreamHack Open here in Leipzig. What an achievement for them to make it this far, and the fact that it comes down to a single goal in overtime. What an incredible grand final.
And let's not forget, they were down 3-2, and then they get the infamous Brazil score in Game 6, the score the Germans love here, that's for sure. And then Bluey, 13 seconds left, the redemption goal after the mistake. Shawset played absolutely amazing Game 6 and 7. And then Farah, the team captain, the one to put it home in overtime. One of the best series we've seen in Rocket League to date.
That was definitely a fantastic series, and what a huge win for this PSG crew. No longer do we get to say, can they perform at a live event? Absolutely.
The first title for all 3 of these guys, and these guys were the leftovers from old teams after RLCS Season 3. The Farah gets kicked off the team called the Leftovers. Shawset, his teammates abandoned him. Bluey looking for a team. They made a team to make a run in Season 4, and they just continue to grow and grow and grow right in front of our eyes.
And they are such a young team. You're going to see so much of these guys as Rocket League esports continues. Remember, we still have the RLCS coming up. This is only the first stop for DreamHack. This is the first premier event in Rocket League, and the fact that it comes down to a North American team against a European team, PSG against G2, and all the credit in the world to this G2 team for putting up such a fight, from coming back from so far in this tournament, making a huge run to get to this point, and they were a goal away. They were seconds away from being your tournament champions, but Bluey able to score, leading it into overtime, and then we all saw how that finished up.
And the European curse in Grand Finals versus North America comes to an end. PSG, the only one to ever win a series against North America in the Grand Final before Northern Arena.
1-5, baby. 1-5.
And now Europe, they keep home field advantage. They've always won in Europe, and they must be proud of that.
Yeah, what's the next one? Let's go.
We'll see.
I think RLCS upcoming is going to be the focus for a lot of these teams. $500,000 in prizing on the line, but what an epic way to finish out this tournament. Such a long day. Gibbs, we were talking about how many games actually happened today. I think what was the number
we had
came up with?
38 out of 41 games played today.
That's a lot of games. Everyone in the crowd, first of all, give yourselves a round of applause, because this has been an epic weekend of tournament action, and just a huge congratulations to PSG, you know, getting to this moment. And you got to understand just how many times they've been on that main stage, how many chances they've had in the past to try to secure a tournament victory, to have that maturity and that resolve, to be able to be on that stage and have a topsy-turvy grand final, but still able to lift that trophy and make it happen in overtime. Just a story we're going to be telling for a long time, and this is only the beginning of 2018, guys.
And the only undefeated team left here. G2 was taking them all out today. And even at the start, PSG, they were down 0-2 to Flipside and Cooksier.
Yep.
And they brought that one back.
And there were so many chances for PSG to break down and crumble.
And day 2, like Ghost was up 2-1. They adapted. And we said best of sevens might really help PSG, and they adapted here. They were down 3-2 once again, come back to win it.
Well, we have Farah on standby for an interview. Farah, great to talk to you again. You are tournament champion, you and PSG of DreamHack Open. I want to get your thoughts right away. How are you feeling right now, man?
I don't know, I'm shaking. Yeah, it's insane. I can't believe it.
All right, Farah, that goal to go down in Game 7, not even your goal. We'll talk about that later, but to go down, you guys have, 30 seconds left, and Bluey comes up with the goal from the pass to Shawset. During that goal from G2, were you talking to your team, trying to get them ready for this last 20 seconds?
We were, like, when we took the goal, we were like, oh, fuck, that shouldn't never happen, you know, like, it was just a bad challenge. We were like, are we really gonna lose to that? And I'm like 5 seconds before the kickoff, I'm like, okay, we can still do this. 30 seconds left, we can still do this. And we did it.
You pulled it off in spectacular fashion, and what a huge win for you guys. I mean, you finally win a big live event. You're looking forward to the RLCS. I mean, you got to set your sights on EU champions now, right?
Yeah, I guess.
It's the only way forward.
Well, Farah, congratulations on your tournament victory. Exactly what's next for you? What are you going to do tonight, and what are you looking forward to for PSG next?
I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. I barely can speak, so I guess I'll just, I don't know.
Well, congratulations on your victory, Vera. Thanks for speaking to us. Go celebrate, man.
Thank you.
All right, that's Farah from PSG. Wow, it's just amazing to me just to see him. Like, he's shaking a little bit. He's like, that's how much this victory means to him. But let's go through, once again, the highlights of the grand final all the way to 7 games. Not only that, we went to overtime. Couldn't ask for a better end to a tournament.
It was just an incredible series, just back and forth. And JNAPS, of course, making plays. That's what you expect. It's just, can you contain them? For a little while, they couldn't, and I thought the Game 4 goal by JNAPS might have been the difference maker until, of course, PSG came all the way back.
Yeah, it really was back and forth all the way through. It was a huge answer from PSG in game number 3. Bluey, again, setting up his teammates, hitting crazy shots, but
yeah,
this goal right here was so pretty.
And we talked about momentum, and we thought that might have been it, but then game number 6, PSG just puts on a show. Chaussette came alive in game 6 and 7. He was doing everything for his team.
4 goals.
He was setting up everything. He had huge saves as well in both of those. And then, of course, the overtime winner to become champions.
It's amazing how it all comes down to that single game, and you got to imagine what is going through these players' minds as they're getting into that overtime in Game 7. All of the tournament leading up to that point, and the fact that Game 7 was so close, so evenly matched, when we saw so many goals, not only in the previous game, but I suppose through the entire series, the fact that the last game was 0-0 until literally
30 seconds
left, and then PSG, in that situation, we heard from Ferry, we heard what was going through his mind and what the communication had to be. They had to be able to bring that back and tie it up to even push it into overtime, and then I don't even know. I don't even know if there's a feeling that can replicate.
I was so happy for Bluey because that mistake could have cost him. He said he tilted earlier today. I couldn't even imagine what he was feeling after that, but he made up for it, and the grind paid off. A lot of teams took a lot of time off throughout this offseason. PSG, they said they kept playing, they kept grinding, and it all paid off here.
And again, I love seeing just the reaction from Farah there. You can tell how much this means to him, and huge congratulations also to his teammates, Chaussette and Bluey. I'm sure they're going to be holding on to this one, and this is something they can take into the future and remember as being tournament champions. But we have top 5 plays from the tournament presented by Astro. Let's go ahead and go through these. A lot of amazing plays throughout this tournament, and the first one is pretty hilarious because it's actually a fakie from...
No, that one's gone because of something we'll see later. This is the G2 0-second coast-to-coast.
Right. Yep.
That was Kernovi saving it in the corner, then JNAPS beats out 2. And this is the hardest goal to score for Rizzo. Ooh. He knows he has a wide open net, but that's so difficult to do. Rizzo puts it home under pressure.
And then G2 kept the ball going. This was back at day 1. JNAPS with the most impressive get all the way back around the side, put it dead center. He nailed that shot.
And once again, Rizzo comes with the pass, and look at this. JNAPS just takes it all himself. Cross-body goal, and look at that. Directly in the middle, because he knows no one's in net. And then number 3 here, we have some plays from Method and a lot. He's the cherry picker on that team. This was when they were down 0-3, and they came all the way back to tie it at 3-3. And this is what Method does best. Metsonoris to a lot. And look at this play. The backflip right there. Get that little extra touch. Top right corner. Beautiful play.
And then, of course, who else but JNAPS again? The triple touch. The first one onto the top corner, the second one off the wall and right into his car, and the third one to put it all the way to the far post. It was just absolutely spectacular. The wherewithal to even know that that's all going to happen just like that.
And finally, number 1, how could it not be this? Farah from PSG, we just talked to him, 39 seconds into overtime, the goal that would give PSG your DH Open Leipzig title. PSG your tournament champions, and this is the goal that made it happen.
And no one better than the team captain for PSG, the one that keeps them cool under pressure, Farah.
What an amazing tournament, guys. We have a bracket to show everyone to get caught up on what happened today. Remember, we started with 26 teams on day 1, down to 16 teams on day 2. Here is how day 3 ended up panning out. Gale Force losing. That was our first match of the day to Guess Who, advancing to the semifinals. And then PSG, they went down 0-2 to Flipside. They had a reverse sweep Flipside to make it to the next round. Then they took out Guess Who pretty convincingly, and then we all saw what just happened in the grand finals. Meanwhile, the other side of the bracket, G2, as close as you can get every single one of their matches. 3-2 victory, 4-3 victory, and then, of course, falling in the grand finals, and NRG. What an amazing tournament with them. Torment on that squad to keep it very close, but they were knocked out in the semifinals by G2. And now, guys, we get to announce our tournament MVP.
Who is it?
Yeah.
Our tournament MVP, presented by Astro, is not from the winning team of the tournament. It is none other than JNaps from G2, your tournament MVP. He did so much this weekend to show his skill. 2 plays in our top 5 on the top plays of the tournament. And then just looking through this highlight reel, no one in the tournament had more of an effect on his team. And remember, G2 had so many matches to play. They had come back from behind, and they were literally a second away from being your tournament champion.
And we don't do this often. We don't usually give MVPs to losing teams, but JNaps was so incredible this entire weekend, and he put his team not really on his back. I felt like Kenobi Rizzo played extremely well, but just some of the plays he was making were better than what anyone can do here.
There's a reason he's called the knapsack, and he earned it.
It was insane. Like, he's the knapsack for the entire world. He's putting them all in his backpack, and he is just showing everyone how it's done. That's the next level that we'll see in Rocket League.
Our top plays in our MVP, presented by Astro Gaming. A special fact for you guys, all the headsets used on the stage were actually Astro headsets. So if you want to join the Astro family, look no further than www.astrogaming.com. Without them, this tournament would not be possible. So super thankful for all the sponsors involved, including Monster Energy, Corsair, and Psyonix as well. And that's pretty much going to do it for us, guys. Any final thoughts?
Hats off to production, hats off to all the talent, and Wave Punk, feel better, man.
Yeah, big thank you to our makeup artist for making us all look pretty all weekend. I appreciate that. Otherwise, we would have never made it. So, we'll see you at RLCS, I suppose.
Exactly, and ladies and gents, the next stop for the DreamHack Open will be May 19th through the 21st, so make sure you stay tuned to that. That'll be in Tours, France. But that's going to do it for us as far as Rocket League is concerned. This is just the beginning for 2018. Look out for the RLCS. $500,000 on the line for this year. All these teams involved on this tournament are going to be looking very closely at that and looking to make a run. I want to thank everyone for watching, and thank, of course, our sponsors once again, Monster Energy, Corsair, Astro, and Psyonix. Without them, it would not be possible. If you tuned in online, if you're here at the venue, thank you so much for watching. On behalf of everyone here behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, all the commentators, my name's Axel Toss. I'll see you next time.